Hey Swagrid, Cubing here. Do you want to learn ZZCT? Okay, but for real, if you want to learn ZZCT, there's one thing you should know. We have to change this music. That's better. Now, if you want to learn ZZCT, there's one thing you should know. Don't, if you want to be fast. There's plenty of other faster variants, just base OCL and PLL is faster and it only has 28 cases. Just do that. But if you don't care so much about speed, you just want to keep the fun, or you want to keep the swag, or for some reason you are dead set on learning ZZCT, I'll give you a little bit of a roadmap so you can see where we're going. So, you're just starting out your journey learning ZZCT. Maybe you currently use a different method or a different ZZ variant, but either way, you want to learn CT. Well, the first thing you should do is make sure that you know and are comfortable doing ZZ. Be comfortable with EO cross, know how to do ZZ F2L fairly efficiently, general stuff like that. But the first thing you should really get around to learning is 2-look TTLL. I have a video about it on my channel, which you can check out. Some of the algs are a little bit whack, so the pinned comment by Yoruba has a couple other alternative algs. And when you get to the TTLL state, it allows you to reduce to an EPLL, or an edge PLL, which has a fairly high chance of skipping a 1 in 12. But Swagrid, how do we get to the TTLL state if we don't know DSLE? I'll show you. I use S moves and scrambles, don't judge me. Get to last slot the same way you would with any other ZZ F2L methodology. It can be any slot, it doesn't matter, just find the last edge, pick a corner, doesn't have to be the corresponding corner, just any corner, pair them up, and insert them. Some people will call this a pseudo pair, but I think since we're using pseudo pair for other things, we should call this by its other name, which is a dual layer pair. I just prefer that. But now that you have your dual layer pair, you will effectively have an OCLL, here I have anti-syn, on the top layer, which you can then use to reduce to TTLL. When you've reduced to TTLL, you can do your 2-look TTLL alg to give you an EPLL. And that's how you'll solve at the very start. The next thing to learn would be 2-look TSLE, which you're already kind of doing with the dual layer pair, but not really. 2-look TSLE involves learning 16 new algs for when the corner is facing outwards, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Yes, the corner can be facing a third orientation, but that just gives you OCLL, and you know that already. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so get to your last slot. Again, it can be literally any slot. Just insert the edge. Don't care about corners, just put the edge in. And then you can ADF to put the corner that's not solved on the down layer, down front right for you, and do your TSLE, which will leave you again with TTLL, which you can 2-look into another EPLL. Bam. That's going to be your intermediate step of ZZCT, at least your first intermediate step of ZZCT. It's about time we got down to the meat of it. We're learning full TTLL. Look, it's 72 algs, don't be afraid of it. It's split into 6 sets, each with 12, that's manageable. We have an alg trainer, ZZC trainer, link in the description. We have a bunch of different alg sheets for it, links in description. You have all the resources at your hands, and plenty of ways to train it, and there's a ton of ways to force it too. Let me show you one. So let's say that I'm trying to force front opposite TTLL. Hold on, let me give a better case of force. Let's say that I'm trying to force front opposite TTLL because that's the alg set I'm learning. Well, here we have double bar. Now, to go from any bar case to any opposite case, and any opposite case to any bar case, I like to do an adjacent swap, in this case a JB perm. And then, from that, I can do A perms to change the individual case. So here we have right opposite, but I want front opposite, so I'll do an A perm. And now I have front opposite. If I did the other A perm, it would have given me double opposite. I don't know which A perm I did, don't ask me, short-term memory loss moment, but either way I now have a front opposite alg that I can do the TTLL for. Make sure to use the alg trainer as you learn the algs, that way you learn the alg, recall and recog all at the same time. It's much easier that way. And that is your second intermediate step of ZZCT. The next step is going to be to learn full TSLE. You can learn it set by set, you can learn it algorithmically, you can learn it intuitively. Look, here's how I recommend doing it. As someone who's gone through, I learned full TSLE for front right slot algorithmically. Don't do that. Learn full TSLE, slot neutral, intuitively. Try to figure out how the triggers work, the way they affect corner orientation, and how it reduces to other triggers to insert. It sounds complicated, but if you just stick to it, you can have a really good understanding of corner orientation, and it will help you to be slot neutral with TSLE, which can be done. You can be slot neutral with ZZCT. Literally, you can. Oh, but Sigrid, how am I gonna train TSLE slot neutral when the trainer only has TSLE for front right? Well, there's actually a very simple solution to that. All that you have to do is just